Welcome to part 2, Long Island Needs a Drag Strip. And the first segment we kind of focused on the history of Long Island Drag Strip, and now we want to talk about the present and hopefully the future. John, let's talk about, first of all, what began your movement? Where did it all start where you said, you know what, Long Island is missing a drag strip. I personally have to do something to get involved. The impetus to get it started. Where did it all get started? How did the idea get hatched?
Well, we've always wanted a racetrack back on Long Island, but one night coming home from Atco Raceway, sitting in traffic for 5 hours, I got home at midnight. I looked to my wife and I said, hon, I'm going to put a post on Facebook and see how many people like it. Well, almost 9 months later and over 14,000 people, here I am. I started a fire and it's not going out. So that was the passion, and the more people that came and liked my page and started joining, it was just a movement happened and it's not stopping. So that was my passion for getting a racetrack back on Long Island.
John, let's face it, the economy in Long Island desperately needs drag strip. Talk about what it would do for revenue in Long Island, tourism in Long Island, safety in Long Island, among other issues, why it's so necessary.
Yeah, every one of those things that you just said is pretty much our mission statement. Why we want to track back on Long Island. Number one, safety, but also, like you said, revenue. The amount of revenue that will come back into Long Island help Suffolk County, help Nassau County. Both counties are in a large deficit right now, so the amount of revenue that would come in from a drag strip facility would be overwhelming. Safety is another key factor. There's too many young kids out on the street, not just young kids, but everybody. Illegal street racing that's going on right now, so we need a safe facility where people can go enjoy their hobby and really enjoy what this sport is all about. There's too many people getting hurt and unfortunately getting killed because of this illegal street racing that's going on right now. So if you have a nice safe facility, we'll help eliminate that and bring it to a nice monitored location.
In talking, John, one of the most important issues right now, and let's talk about it, is getting the land. Talk about what kind of progress has been made getting the land where a drag racing strip could be built.
Well, we've had the Suffolk County legislators, Dwayne Gregory, presiding officer, and Tom Silmy, and Trotter, Legislator Trotter. They started a task force and a committee to help us find land to look for a racetrack on Long Island. We've also had Assemblyman Dean Murray doing a bang-up job, supporting us 150%. He brought in the tourism committee as far as the hotels and the wineries and the restaurants that really could upscale and get this done. And they're also looking for profits in their business, which would grow. And it's pretty much a no-brainer that our economy is going to boom. It's going to bring back more engine builders, more chassis builders, more machine shops, auto body. People need these things, and it's a dying breed, and it shouldn't be dying because Long Island has a history of racing, and we need this back on Long Island.
John, let's talk about some of the other benefits a drag strip would bring to Long Island. First of all, how about education? Automotive classes, things like that. So let's talk about the sheer benefits of having a drag strip in Long Island would bring.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a big piece of what we're trying to accomplish is educating people that aren't familiar with what a drag strip is all about. I think one of the major problems right now is people they hear drag strip and drag racing, and it just automatically gets associated with street racing. People that line up on the street and they're hurting people, like I mentioned before. We're trying to avoid that. So basically, getting involved with the schools, high school, you don't really see, automotive classes anymore. They've kind of gone away. BOCES classes, they've kind of gone away. So if we bring this back, now these kids can go right from their school or right to their college and go right to the track and enjoy their hobby and enjoy what they learned in class. Also, what that would also bring is high school versus high school, college versus college. Another thing too is working with local police departments and municipalities to, you'll see it in out of states where Beat the Heat, where you can actually go to a racetrack now and race against a local police officer, somebody that might have given you a ticket on the expressway for speeding. Now you can actually line up against him and his police car at the drag strip. So bring all that, and again, it all goes back to safety. You know, if it starts in the classroom and people learn how to monitor what they're doing, how to handle their car. You know, a lot of these cars from the factory now pushing 600-700 horsepower factory. People hop in these cars, they don't know how to use them. So if we have a track, we'll put together, you know, training courses, how to use your car, how to properly steer the car so you don't have any accidents. That would be a big part.
John, let's talk about the last year. The progress that your group has made from social media to meeting with different groups and organizations. Talk about what this last year has been in your life ever since you started the group Long Island Needs a Drag Strip. Let's tell the people out there what the last year has been like and highlight some of the events that have taken place over the last year because of this great idea.
Well, it's been an epic battle, and I'm surprised that it's grown so big. From being a construction worker to all of a sudden now talking to politicians within the last 8-9 months, never thought it would have happened. We've been on Newsday, we've been in Newsday, Riverhead News. We've been on Channel 2, 4, 7, 12, 55. We're radio stations throughout Long Island, and it's just growing and growing. And the more people that hear it, the more people become aware, they support us. So I'm ecstatic. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm beside myself. And to have my son with me is a great deal, an accomplishment, because he's a great guy, and that's going to be the next upcoming driver of the Bounty Hunter right there.
All right, and obviously there's a passion out there, because
Yes.
you don't just get 14,000 followers on Facebook. People love cars, they love racing, and like you said, it's got to be a tremendous hassle. You want to go drag racing, to go to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, it's 4, 5, 6 hours in traffic in the summertime, and it's a hassle. Having it right in the backyard of Long Island would be so great for so many people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be tremendous. And like John said, this started as an idea that he was actually sitting in traffic coming back from New Jersey. So over the last 9 months, I mean, the 14,000 people that we have supporting us have been great. So thank you to all our fans, all the supporters out there. And we have people here tonight that have came out and are supporting us, so thank you very much. But even people aren't on social media. The people are there, the supporters there. Now it's really just getting over that next hump. And big thing that John always says is, you know, we have, for drag racers, you have that pre-stage bulb, and, you know, the next bulb's getting ready to get lit, and we're getting ready to see that green light. So we're getting there. So we thank everybody for their support.
All right, now let's give out the information of all the way people can contact you who want to join the movement, who are passionate about drag racing. So let's give out all the contact information.
Okay, you can obviously, LI Needs a Drag Strip on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. We also have www.lineedsadragstrip.org. You can look us up on Facebook. There's all kinds of bumper stickers and stuff that we have, and media. Here's another one that you could also get us on. So there's car shows. There's pretty much any car show now that you're going to go to on Long Island, we will be there, or a representative from our group will be there, and they can follow us and keep in contact and learn the progress of what's going on.
And I think you've done a great job in marketing too, because the bumper stickers, the t-shirts, going to the meetings, all that stuff, it just keeps raising awareness day by day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, non-stop right now, people are messaging John and myself and people on the committee. Where can I get a t-shirt? Where can I get a bumper sticker? Where can I get this? The support is overwhelming, and last year we had a very large car show at Tanner Park, and we had close to 1,000 people show up. I think at the time we had 6,000 people on Facebook. I didn't see it getting bigger than that, and now we're at 14,000, almost 15,000 people on Facebook, and it just continues to grow. So again, the more people we reach out to, the more people that support this idea, it's just going to continue to grow. And again, we wouldn't be here without everybody behind us. So that's number one. So thank you, everybody.
That's awesome. And let's face it, the politicians, they might not love drag racing, but they love the almighty dollar. And if this is going to be good for the economy of Suffolk County and Long Island, it's good for the politicians. So to have the politicians working with you and for it is a huge plus.
Yes, that's definitely a huge plus, and we've shown them the amount of money and sales tax revenue that Long Island is losing by the amount of people that leave Long Island, because we are a tightly dense populated area. People that are leaving the island are spending numerous. It costs me $700 to $800 a day to go out racing, Okay, but now other people that go out racing, if they go out and they spend a week out racing, well, they bring their whole team with them. Their team is at hotels, restaurants. So that's all money revenue that needs to be spent and brought back to Long Island to help us out. Not just the people at the racetrack, but we need to help the economic growth back on Long Island. Teenagers are leaving Long Island because there's no jobs. This is a proven fact on what we can do to bring jobs back. We've had Grumman Aerospace, where they built the jets and stuff. So we're looking to get, not Grumman, but the way Grumman had their aerospace technology and produced jobs, that's what we will have back in a racetrack form, if and when this racetrack does get built on Long Island.
And I think some other benefits that is definitely important to talk about is, first of all, we all know that one of the huge problems facing our society in Long Island and all over the country, actually all over the world, is the drug crisis. You have a drag racing strip. That means that kids and adults, instead of doing drugs, they're going to be going for entertainment. And the other aspect is that most of your drag racing is going to be on the weekends. So that means you can utilize the track during the week for a lot of educational features like classes and things like that. So let's talk about those two things, about number one, giving the youth and giving people something to do on weekends, but secondly, utilizing the track and the benefits during the week.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the drug problem that we have, it is a very large issue. So, a lot of times you'll see on social media, drag racing is my anti-drug. When I was a young kid, when I was in high school, with my truck that I have, and here I am 32 years old, I'm still working on it. I'm putting a brand new motor in it. That's all I did. I'd go home from school and I would work, I'd get a paycheck, and all my money would go into my truck. You talk to a lot of racers, I'm sure John and anybody else here can attest to it. You work to buy new tires for your car, or buy a new intake, or new headers, or something like that. So just that issue alone would help steer kids away from the drugs and put them more into a hobby that they can enjoy. And then as far as just, the safety issue, things like that, if we have that track, when we have that track, that's where everybody can go. And, instead of doing it on the streets, they go to the track, learn what they learned, take what they learned in school, and utilize it in a safe, monitored facility.
And John, let's talk about how the track can be utilized during the week. Obviously, you can have the racing on the weekends, but talk about all the things that could be conducted during the week at the track, which would be another positive benefit.
Like we were talking about, you could bring your high schools out there on the racetrack. You can bring the colleges. Now they have a place to test and tune their cars that they're building on the college campus or in school. You can have school versus school, like we were talking earlier. But the other aspect is, again, safety, and to get this motorsports park complete. This way, not only people can drag race, but there's road course racers out there that are just as popular as we are, and they need a place to race too. That's why we're looking for this motorsports park to be built on Long Island.
Well, we really enjoyed having you guys on the show, and we'd love to have you come back and give us progress and updates. I think what you're doing is great. I think it's exciting for thousands of people, but please come back to us and give us updates, and I want to be there when that drag race opens.
So do I. We will be there, and we'll have you there too.
All right, great job.
Thanks, Howie.
All right.
Appreciate it.